When we start to look at factors that influence our success, of course, there are many, many different factors. But when we look at the impact that our friends have on our success, there's nothing in comparison to any other factor that will influence your success. And ironically, it's one of the things that people will look at last when they're wondering why they're not getting the results that they want. You see, when we were growing up, we didn't really put a lot of choice or a direction into choosing the right friends. We became friends with the people we liked, the people that we got along with, like-minded people, and they became our friends. But in our older years, and when we're trying to achieve success, it's going to be very, very difficult if you're trying to achieve something and all your friends around you are telling you that you're crazy, it's not possible, get your head out of the clouds, for example. That is just really, really not congruent with where you want to go. And so this is where we need to start looking at, do my friends support me in my journey of success, or are they holding me back? And so I'm not telling you need to go out and change your friends completely, but I want you to be aware of the impact that your friends have on your level of success. So when you're surrounded by people who have got a lot of self-control, they're very inspired and they set challenges and they take action, and that's the conversation and that's kind of the lifestyle, and you surround yourself by people like that, you will find that you will also want to take action, you'll get inspired by it, you'll want to be challenged. But when you're surrounded by people who are not very inspired and motivated to make a lot for themselves, they're very limiting, they think, that perhaps, ambition is bad, wealth is bad, for example, and they feel very victimized in life, they're going to have conversations with you based on those beliefs, and that's going to influence your mindset because you're listening to all these limiting thoughts. So just have a check-in with, how positive and how supportive or opposite negative are the people that are in my life, and how is that affecting me and how I feel. Another thing that we don't realize, and we might do very, very subconsciously, is we take a lot of advice from the people around us. But unless we're taking advice from the right people, it's really not the best advice. You shouldn't take advice from somebody who is not in place that you want to be. And so most of the time we take advice from our friends on relationships, on success and things, and they haven't even achieved it, yet they're influencing us. So really just check in again. They might be the most amazing people, but maybe they're not going to really be supporting you in your journey to success. So what can you do then? Well, what I would recommend you to do is to start to then just try to include more people into your circle of friends. Start to follow some motivational speakers, listen to their videos, read their books, get inspired. Join Facebook groups, join some groups where you've got some like-minded people who are perhaps on a similar journey to you. If you're starting out in a career or with your own entrepreneurial journey. But the point is, if you don't have that support in your current circle of friends, really, really advise you to find that circle of friends somewhere else, even if it needs to start off being on a virtual basis. And then, to really, to reduce the time that you spend with people who are very, very limiting in your life, or maybe try to help them to not be so limiting. We are the average of the people we surround ourselves with. And so if we want to really influence our success, let's influence the circle of friends that we have as well.